everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and we're live for Rangers against Manchester United in the second pre-season game of the 2024 summer. I hope you're excited because I tell you what, I love the pre-season, but it's going up a gear. This is the thing about pre-season, it does go up through the gears. And as interesting as it was the other day, today is even more interesting because we've got more first team squad / players playing today. As you can see on the screen there, this is the lineup. Onana in goal. He will be starting. Wan-Bissaka, Yoro time. We've also got Johnny Evans and Murray. Then we've got Collier time in the midfield next to Casemiro. I'm actually quite looking forward to seeing that because Mount will go into the Hannibal role, I would assume, in the more advanced right-hand side of the midfield three. And Collier will drop into the number 8 position, which we haven't seen yet. So that'll be interesting as well. Then we've got Sancho on the left, Ahmad on the right. Very excited to see those two. I mean, I think these two are contenders for tonight's pre-season Perlo Award, which we are going to bring in. I'm sure people are going to copy this, but for pre-season, sponsored by That's Football, which I've just made up, but I own that. So, sponsored by That's Football, we've got a new award that is going to be exclusive for pre-season. Lovely shout out to That's Football, the biggest watched YouTube channel throughout the Euros, presented by an absolute genius. I don't need to tell you his name, but That's Football are sponsoring our pre-season Perlo Award, where every pre-season game we will give, I suppose, a Man of the Match award, but also an additional award of pre-season Perlo. What is a pre-season Perlo? It's basically a player that everybody on Twitter later will be saying, we don't need this, we've got this. I started this off years ago, the pre-season Perlo, with Pereira. We don't need James Rodriguez, said a young Goldbridge. We don't need James Rodriguez. We were linked to him. We don't need James Rodriguez. We've got Pereira. So pre-season Perlo Award, will be giving that out. No Xerxes, says CJ. I'm going to applaud you for being Pratt of the chat. I mean, it's not, it's a brave thing to expose yourself as a Pratt. No Xerxes because he's on holiday, mates. He's not back until after the tour, I think. But yeah, happy with that team. Side says, why isn't Lindelof in the squad? Well, Lindelof, Rashford, Anthony, Maguire. Well, Maguire's still returning from his injury that he had at the end of last season, but Anthony, Lindelof and Rashford all have minor knocks. So they'll be fine for the US tour, but they're not quite back for today. Make sure you smash the like on the video and subscribe. Remember, we're on the road. We're on that road to 1.9 million that we're trying to hit before the start of the season so we can be on the road to 2. Afternoon, Mark. No to Rabiot. The Merc. Go, lads, says Uhtred. Okay. Welcome to Members Club, Braden Space as well. Absolute legend. Thanks for getting your badge in and supporting the channel. Sancho would have won it last pre-season, says Jackie Boy. Well, look, I'm quite happy to say that if Yoro does 1 or 2 things good against Rangers in a pre-season friendly, I'm going to christen him the next Varane. Yeah, I'm happy to do that, unashamedly. If Ahmad skips past the player who's, injured, he is the next Messi. So, you know what? If you're in Sancho Player FC, by all means, get on board with the pre-season Perlo player of the match because he will. I'm sure he'll be cooking up some Rangers defenders. But look, on a serious note, I don't know what to do about that because we've been here before with Sancho. I thought last pre-season he looked really, really good. The season kicks off and, he can't carry it on. So we've got to be careful of that. But I think for me, the really exciting thing, forget Jadon's. I mean, there's so much to be excited about, really. Ahmad and Sancho really do need to turn it on. Ten Hag wasn't happy with the team on Monday, so they have to perform better. Rangers have got a decent team out. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about Scottish football, but there you go. That's their lineup, and it ain't too bad. I think it's quite I mean, is there anybody who knows anything about Scottish football? How strong would you say that team is for Rangers? A bit of a mix? I don't know. Let me know about that. But for me, the big excitement in this is Collier and Yoro, because 18 and another youth player who I think is 20 now, Collier, they're the two players that I think this season could be, very, very good. Sinister says it's a bit of a mixed side, Mark, so we'll have a bit of a mixed Rangers team in the second half. And they're starting with their bench, although Josh says that's their first team. Robbie says it's not very strong anyway because it's Rangers. We love all that. Rangers are a mess, says Jordan. You see, the thing about Rangers is there's somebody... Get him off the roof! Get him off the roof! It's raining! There's a bloody bagpiper on the roof! Get him off! Bloody hell, he fall off. Scooby-Doo, what's going on there? The thing about Rangers is that you have to be very, very careful because there's the Rangers-Celtic divide, and that can be very, very avoidable. Just avoid it. Just don't have an opinion on it. But we sort of have to have an opinion on it when we're playing them. And, of course, we are playing them. There's the score up for you as well. We're all ready to go. Very, very excited. Very excited. It's nice. Loads of transfer stuff going on as well. Obviously, Ornstein's tweet about Branthwaite and Everton saying he's not for sale no matter what. Good. Happy. I'm very happy. I wanted Branthwaite, but, some of you didn't. Everton were getting obsessed about it. I think let's move on. Let's move on. Very happy about that. But we've got an 8 o'clock show tonight for the transfer stuff, so we can give you all that. He's there again, the bagpiper. I mean, I'm just worried about Augusta Wind here. I hope somebody's tied him down. I hope he's got something around his waist that's and someone's holding him back, because bloody hell. That is not good. If he fell off there, then bagpipes will play themselves, whistling through the wind. The roof is on fire, says William. Scooby-Doo Mark, he's up with Christmas decorations, cheering against Rangers, says Jude. Sancho loan deal to PSG to sweeten the Agate deal, says Gareth. And what do you think about Chida Obi to United, says Simone. Mate, I think, look, I've spoken about this a lot. It's not just about buying players for the first team. A strategic review, which Ineos have done, would be numerous open goals. The stadium, the CEO, the director of football, the medical department, the coaches, the coaching, but also I think very obviously recruitment of the youth players who maybe aren't ready for the first team yet. Scouting, stealing, poaching. This is very important, and Arsenal have offered him a good contract, but he's decided he wants to move on, and I think Man United are going to get him, and apparently he's a very, very good player. But look, you you don't get too excited about stuff like that, because we've had that in for years. Like Collier was a good player that we got, I think, from Brighton, but there's been others. I remember us getting a lad, was it Hutchinson or someone like that, from Coventry, probably about 4 years ago, 16-year-old from Coventry. Was going to be the next big thing. I've never heard of him again. So sometimes it can be a thing. Sorry, I need to change something to watch along. But what are your thoughts on the team? Very happy with it. Yes, I'm happy with it. I think that we've got some first teamers in there that we need to start to have a look at as well. Yoro, we get to have a look at. We've also got Collier in there, Wheatley as well, playing up front. We've not even mentioned him. Will he be staying at Man United this season? Will he be going to, will he be going on a loan this season? So there's loads and loads to, get your teeth into. And look, I enjoyed Monday. I enjoyed the Monday game, but as I said, this is a progression forward. Loving afternoon plan, United game, beer and good company with the United Stand family, says Bernard. Well, look, if you've got good weather, great. It was boiling hot yesterday where we were in the UK. It's now raining, but muggy, which is probably the same as what it looks like in Glasgow, which is where this game is being played. It's Glasgow Rangers and Glasgow Celtic, if you didn't know that. But they just call themselves Rangers and Celtic. That's what they do. Rangers are more injury cursed than United. I predict lots of injuries today, says Trey. Well, apparently it's a bit of a mix for Rangers, their team, just to go through it, because it is on the screen and it's been there for a very, very long time. So let me just run down it for you. Jack Butland in goal, of course. Sterling, not Raheem. Suter, Davies, Jeft, Barron, Diamande, Lawrence, Wright, Curtis and Deza. And then on their bench, they've got the likes of Kelly, Ridvan, Goldson, Matunda, Dowell, Balogun, King, McCausland, McKinnon, Lowry, and Danilo. What happened to that? What happened to Cantwell? I thought he played for them. In fact, apparently he might be leaving then. Tavernier as well, Cantwell. I'm just looking at the Rangers fans replying on Twitter saying that lineup and bench is rotten. How are we still having to play Scott Wright? Rangers fans just looking at the Rangers replies to their tweets about this team. They're depressed. They're not happy. Well, you know, get involved. Let us know. Let us know. Apparently the kickoff's been put back to 4:15, by the way, because the players aren't even on the pitch yet. So it's 4 minutes to 4, and apparently it's been put back 15 minutes. So there we go. Well, we're fine. We can talk a bit about transfers news then, can't we? We're in Scotland, aren't we? Says Arturo. Jackie Boy says Rangers couldn't qualify from the Championship if they were an English team, but every other team excluding Celtic is at League One level at best. Scooby-Doo. Okay. Look, what I'm looking for from Manchester United today, let me just get that team news back up for you. What I'm looking for from Manchester United today, I actually think it's important that we win. Yeah, I do. I do think it's important that we win, and I'll tell you why. Because Ten Hag has prioritised results in pre-season. He wasn't happy on Monday. So normally I think pre-season wouldn't be that important in relation to results. It's all about fitness and maybe individuals, but I think Ten Hag has set the gauntlet now that he wants to see performance. So I think that's a good thing for us because we know what the parameters are. I also think that Yoro is obviously very exciting to watch, considering we only had official announcement on Thursday. Collier, really interested to see what he can do. Obviously, when you're playing Rosenborg, they are Norwegian. Nothing's going to change that, but some people would say, well, what is the quality of Rosenborg? This is a step up. I mean, Rosenborg might beat Rangers, to be fair, but it is, technically it's a step up. And you just want to see what the likes of Collier and Yoro can do. Ahmad and Sancho, very, very important as well. Mason Mount, we've not spoken about him. There's a lot of players there that really, there's no excuse for them not to put in a good performance. And, there's a few players in there that are in the shop window as well. Casemiro, I mean, I haven't mentioned Casemiro because if I'm being honest, there's sort of just nothing to say. I'm sort of like, what if Casemiro does well against Rangers in the pre-season and people start going to say he's back? I just don't like that. I want Casemiro to go. And I like Casemiro. I just want him to go. Wan-Bissaka, I think he needs to go. So there's a couple of people putting themselves in the shop window as well. But I would expect to see a strong performance from United today. Now, just because we've got a 15-minute delay to the start of the game, it's meant to be kicking off now, but there's 15 minutes. Casemiro needs selling, says Izzy. Also, it's in Edinburgh again, not Glasgow, says Jackie Boy. This is not in Glasgow. It's in Edinburgh. Whose ground are we playing at then? Where are we playing here? Where are we playing here? I don't recognise the ground. It's not Murrayfield, is it? Whose ground is this? I thought we were at Ibrox. It's Murrayfield. Oh, okay. I stand corrected, says I. But yeah, what I was going to say is that we'll be covering all this on the 8 o'clock show tonight. Make sure you subscribe, get involved with the United Stands. But David Ornstein put it out about 2 hours ago that Everton have said that they won't be selling Branthwaite at all now, if I grab the correct wording, because I don't want to be misquoted. But they've basically come out and said that the lack of a sale, remember their sale fell through, isn't a factor in them needing to sell players. And Everton's ownership-related struggles don't affect their stance and valuation of Branthwaite. United retain an interest, but future approaches are deemed not welcome. Everton have informed Man United they have no intention of selling Jared Branthwaite this summer. And you know what? I think there is one word that sort of sums that Everton I mean, that's a press release. That David Ornstein putting that out is a press release, basically. You know, they've given Ornstein a direct brief there. And the brief is they're not impacted by the failure of their sale. And also they're not impacted by, you know, any offer now. They don't want to sell him. And I think there's just one response to Everton Football Club. Bothered. Face, bothered. Am I bothered, though? Do I look bothered? I couldn't be less bothered, actually. I really couldn't. And I like Branthwaite. A lot of you don't. So you'll be less bothered than I am. But does this face look bothered that Everton are saying he's not for sale? With all due respect, there's plenty more fish in the sea. And I want De Ligt. So there is a belief that if we got Branthwaite, we can't get De Ligt. So I think Everton, in a way, might be doing us a big, massive favour. Because if Man United were given any encouragement about Branthwaite, I think they'd go in for two reasons. One, he's homegrown. Two, he's left-footed. And that could have impacted De Ligt. So for me now, I'm like, well, we're definitely going to get De Ligt. So I'm actually really happy about this. And actually, what I would say is I'm really grateful that Everton have done that press release to Ornstein, because they'll look... What I will say this to Everton Football Club, you will look like a right bunch of twats if you change your mind now. You know, you can't give it Billy Big Bollocks and then back down. You've got to stick to what you've said. And what you've said is that you won't be selling Branthwaite to Manchester United under any circumstances now. So you've got to stick with that. You've got to stick with that. And that's massively helpful for us, because we're not wasting any time now. We're not wasting their time. We're not wasting our time. We know we're not getting him this summer. So Branthwaite can get on with Everton winning the league, and we'll get on with qualifying for top four with somebody else. So I'm really, really pleased about this, because I just felt with Branthwaite for the last couple of weeks, it's been like we're contemplating putting a third bid in. And now we can just go, we can all go, that's it, it's done. So there's disappointment for me. There's disappointment because I like the player. I think he would have been a good signing for us, and I think he ticks a lot of boxes. I completely disagree that he was the next Harry Maguire or any bollocks like that. But you can't get blood out of stone, and you can't get Branthwaite out of Everton because they don't want to sell. They don't want to do any business. And look, I hope in the future that Everton can achieve £70 million for Branthwaite, but right now they won't get it, and we just need to move on. But that's Stone Cold Austin, Steve Austin, SmackDown news. That is that from David Ornstein, Everton are not up for selling Branthwaite this summer, and it seems like under any circumstances now. So we walk away. Somebody just said, all right, but now it's over, what would you value Branthwaite at? Well, look, if I'm in a pub and I'm wearing my green shirt that everyone likes, and you know, Rio Ferdinand comes up to me and says, I want to buy that shirt off you, and I go, it won't fit you, Rio. You go down the gym, I don't. You know, I go for the slim look, you go for the bulk look. I'm not saying you're fat, I'm just saying you clearly pump iron. It won't fit you. He says, I don't care. I want that shirt. I can't get it anywhere. And I go, I don't want to sell it. I like it, Rio. And he goes, money is not an object. What did you pay for it? And I go, I can't remember. 100 quid? I'll give you 200 quid. And I go, no, I don't want to sell it, Rio, because I can't get another one. I don't want to sell it. I'll give you 300 quid. No. I'll give you £1,000. No, I'm not selling it. And so I understand Everton's point of view that you can put a ridiculous price on something when you don't really want to let it go. And that's what they've done with Branthwaite. I think in the market, for me, I would say that Branthwaite is worth 50 million quid. And that's taking into account he's British and he's homegrown. I think his value is £50 million. If he was Norwegian, 35. But I'm already adding on the British tax. £50 million is what I would say. I don't know what you think. Mike says, I think we'll get Branthwaite when Everton get relegated next season. It's all good. Everton aren't going to get relegated. They're not going to get relegated, are they? Thumb Lane, welcome to the members club. Thank you. Will Yoro be happy playing back up to De Ligt, though? I feel we promised a starting role, says Rebel. I think people need to get their heads in the game here. I've played the game. There is no such thing as a starting player, and there is no such thing as a bench player. If you look at Manchester City, Pep Guardiola sometimes has Phil Foden on the bench, De Bruyne on the bench, Diaz on the bench. Like, if you want to be successful, and the games are so long, we're not playing 90 minutes anymore, we're playing 110. You're also playing weekend, midweek. You're also going to pick up injuries. So you look at Harry Maguire at the start of last season, he's probably thinking, where am I going to get a game? I'm 4th or 5th choice centre-back behind Varane, behind Lindelof, behind Martinez. And then he plays most of the season when he's fit because injury and everything like that. I think people need to stop obsessing about where's he going to start? Where's he going to start? Because I think Yoro will be starting games for Manchester United. And I think competition for places is what we need. And the bottom line is, I'd be very surprised if it says in his contract, you start every single game. Very, very surprised. So I'm in the minority, but I really think we'll be talking about how the team last year didn't suit Casemiro, and with Martinez and Yoro behind him, he'll be one of the best DMs in the league, says Luke. You know, tactically, you're quite intelligent, Luke. I'll doff my cap to you, because there is a difference between playing in Manchester United's midfield last year and playing in the midfield this year. Last year, we pressed from the front because we didn't want to park the bus. And when people played through our press, our defence was playing so deep that anybody in that midfield got run through. So if you've got a more compact team, i.e. a higher line, then that pushes the gap smaller, which means you're not defending such massive wide open spaces. But Casemiro needs to go, not because we think he might not be good enough next season, Luke. Casemiro needs to go because he's on 300 grand a week. That's why he needs to go. Mark, after most of us wanting Qatar, have Ineos started to sit us down with the signings? No, Dean. I spoke about this last night. I'm not going to talk about it again. I said at Christmas we lost, and I'm going to get behind Ineos. There is nil point in looking back. But all I would say, Dean, is, has the debt disappeared? Have the Glazers disappeared? So, you know, there's a deeper meaning here. And I would say to all those groups that were like adamant about getting the Glazers out, I really don't understand why you still don't want them out. And that's separate to Ineos. Ineos are doing a good job, but the Glazers are still there. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if in the next 2 or 3 years they take dividends again. And then where are we? I think football's heading back to dividends, actually. I do. I'll be stunned if the Glazers don't take dividends out in the next few years. I've been playing football all day. Is Rabiot coming? And if he does, then no Agate. Weghorst, we'll be talking about that at 8 o'clock tonight. It's in Edinburgh, not Glasgow, says Jackie Boy. We've spoken about that. Legends, we've got nearly 20,000 tuning in for this. Very, very excited about it. We're also on the road to 897 today. We're only about 500 away. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, get involved with the United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, and we will be live at 8 o'clock tonight. Every morning at 10 o'clock, and loads and loads of stuff to talk about on the 8 o'clock show tonight, which we'll keep back because we're here to watch Manchester United in a watch-along. Remember, pre-season goes something a little bit like this. Cut to Beth. What do you mean we haven't got that? Oh, that's a shame. Beth was outside Old Trafford with bloody the class of 92 talking about the pre-season stuff. We paid bloody loads for that. What? There's no audio on it. Just play it without. Oh, bloody hell. We haven't got it. Okay, so what we have got is pre-season. The money I've spent on that. What we have got is pre-season today against Rangers. We're then a week today, but in the early hours, so just after midnight, we play Arsenal in the USA. And then on the following Tuesday, again, just after midnight, so early morning really, early hours of Wednesday, we play San Jose, I think. And then on the following Saturday, we play Liverpool. So 3 games left after today. And then we've got the Community Shield. And then we've got Fulham, which, you know, I'm nervous about. You know what? I don't get nervous, but I'm nervous about this season. Not in a good way. In a good way, I'm really nervous because it's got to work. I know that there are smiling assassins out there who, you know, are, you know, oh, it's great. We're on a madness signing all these players, but they nailed their flag to the mast with Ten Hag. When he kept his job, They didn't go, okay, let's get on with it. They were on Twitter. They were on Instagram. They were on TikTok. They're on YouTube. Oh, this fraud, this bold fraud. The receipts are there. I don't believe that you can go from being that abusive about a manager or sack this manager like some journalist said. I don't believe. I think they're smiling with their weapons hidden behind their back. So any bad result, and they will be there going, get him out, get him out. But you know who's waiting for a job? All I would say to any Ten Hag outer, you know who's waiting for a job? Gareth Southgate. So you get behind this manager. That's what I'm saying. Any updates regarding Pellistri, Mark? Surely we need to make a decision on his future, says Mike, mate. Well, he's on holiday. He's on holiday at the moment. So, yeah, I'm not so sure what's going on there. Anana out there looking like a skinny... I don't know what that is, Jason Jackson. Welcome to Members Club, Dean O'Brien. You're a legend. We all love Colin, says Reb. I guess Yoro's dream has always been to play alongside Johnny Evans in a pre-season game in Scotland, says Sven. Apparently, Yoro had pictures of Johnny Evans on his wall growing up. It's a bit like Kevin De Bruyne and Sean Gota and Erling Haaland and Paul Dickoff. The reason for the delayed kickoff is still because of the large amount of fans still unable to get into Murrayfield, says Stephen G. Where they bloody been? What have they been doing all day? Drinking iron brew and battered Mars bars. Get yourself in there early, lads. Come on. There's no point going to the football and getting there late. Get your son in the ground. What the bloody hell? Come on. Scooby-Doo, get on with it. There's no point. There's no bother. Get on with the game. They can join it late. It's only pre-season. It's not a bloody Champions League. Come on. Get out of it. Anyway, we're about ready to start here. Lovely stuff. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. They can't see the Rangers coming, says Declan. Lovely stuff. Score predictions. I mean, it don't really matter, if I'm being honest, because it's pre-season. But look, what I'm looking forward to doing is looking at some of the players, their movement. I've seen I know a lot of people have been watching clips of Yoro. A lot of people will be looking at young players in the youth setup, like Collier and everybody else, to see what they're like. But personally, I think this is where you learn what they're all about, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you do for Lille or in the youth setup. It matters what you do in a Man United shirt. So I'm very attentive to this game in relation to Yoro's body movement, positional sense, confidence on the ball. I've played the game. We've all played the game. Korea Vids has just gifted 20 memberships, by the way. What an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Let's get some wins in the chat for that. But I think in the first 20 minutes, you are going to judge Yoro the same way as I am. And what I mean by that is not in relation to he's a flop or not, but you're going to start to understand what he is. I know what Johnny Evans is. I've seen him play loads of times. I know what Mason Mount is. I've seen him play loads of times. Sancho. You know what they're about. You don't know whether they're going to deliver, but you know about their body movements. You know about how they play the game. And I think what we've got here is, we're looking at Yoro. We're looking at how he moves. We're looking at, his passing ability, his positional sense, his physicality, his pace over the first 5 yards. These sort of things are going to be really interesting to see. And the same with people like Collier as well. We're just about to kick off here. They are waiting for 4:15, and then we'll go. Ref, let's blow. For Yoro, Come on. No, he's waiting for 4:15. I cannot kick this game off until 4:15. It's a televised game, even though it's not. It's pre-season. Who gives a shit? Come on. There we go. That's it. We're up and running. Oscar, welcome to the Members Club. You're a legend. Sahil says, who's the latest player who you got like Man United players towards? What? Who's the latest player who got you like Man United players towards Sir Alex Ferguson after playing We Need Him, We're Not Leaving? I don't know what that means, Sahil. If you're going to put a comment in, maybe read it back, because that don't make any sense. We have to delay a pre-season game waiting for fans to get in the ground. City can't fill the Etihad for a league game, says McElvis. I love that. Johnny Evans has just committed a foul here. Apparently caught someone in the face by accident. It was an accident, ref. I'm getting a few gems, like Yoro is clever in the scene of it gives them time to implement their scouting structure, but grab a few promising talents, says Dylan. Chris Simon, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for tuning in. Johnny Evans has just been sent off. No, he hasn't. He's fine. He's not even been booked. Right, let's have a look at the shape of this Man United side here. Sancho to the left, Ahmad to the right. Collier in next to Casemiro and mainly playing as a 10. Let's see if that midfield shape remains the same with a 6 holding centrally. Collier more advanced as the 8 on the left-hand side and Mount even more advanced as the 10 on the right-hand side. But look, I mean, I think Collier physically is already looking like he's taken a step up over the summer. I tell you what, go back and watch clips of Stefan Effenberg. He was a bloody brilliant player for Bayern Munich in Germany and actually played in the Champions League final for Bayern Munich. He reminds me a lot, Collier reminds me a lot of Stefan Effenberg. He's just gone and got tackled now. Effenberg wouldn't have got tackled. Rangers moving it around quite well and good tackle there from Casemiro. It is a bit physical here in the first few minutes, which is what we want. Ecto, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks, pal. And I think he's given a free kick. Casemiro, I mean, yeah, he got the ball. But, I mean, that's another thing about Casemiro, isn't he? He picks up so many yellow cards. Talk about his age, talk about his wage, but also talk about his yellow cards. He does get a lot. Anyway, free kick for Rangers here to whip a cross in. Good opportunity for Yoro to show what he's like in the air. What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Fancy shooting from there in a pre-season game. I've played the game. That was silly. That was a silly shot from Rangers. Right. Let's see if we see a bit of passing out from the back. Onana goes long. Nice little flick into Murray. Keeps it in. Cut back to Collier. That's what you want to do. No, he goes into Sancho. And it's a throw-in. Abiyu, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. Nearly 20,000 watching. Please smash a like and share the video. How to get to watch it, says Jesse. Well, we have to watch it on MUTV in the UK. It's the only way to watch it. Here's Collier. Nice array of passing there. Good play by Ahmad. Definitely need to see a better performance from Manchester United. Here's Sancho, nicely keeps it safe to Casemiro. I like Murray at left back. I don't know how old he is. You know, I don't talk about Murray enough because I just don't think he's really a threat for the first team. Probably going to go on loan, but he's 19 himself. He's 20 in September. So yeah, I mean, he's a steady left back. He's just he never gets mentioned. I don't think there's any realistic chance of him being part of the first team squad this year. But there might be a loan deal in it. Murray playing at left back with Johnny Evans and Yoro and Wan-Bissaka completing the back four. Throw into Rangers here. Isn't it funny that ref wears the Specsavers logo, says Taj. Here's Collier again. Yeah, just nice and easy. I tell you what, Collier's playing a lot deeper in that 8 role than we normally see. Here's Yoro on the ball. Let's have a look. Nice, confident player there, but Casemiro just turning into trouble. And Rangers on the attack, but Murray wins it back. Hi, Mark and all. Hope you're doing great, says Rub and Gaza West. Welcome to Members Club. Hello, Rub. Yeah, we're doing all right. Bad kick. What's all these long kicks from Onana again? That's twice in the first 5 minutes he's kicked it long. Keep it on the fucking floor, mate. That's what we bought you for. A few people saying Casemiro looks awful. Nice play by Murray. Right, now, loads of time, Anana. Play out from the back. That's it. Keep it simple. Here's Yoro. Let's have a look what he's like. Very tall, isn't he? I'll tell you what, I prefer these shorts to the ones with the white on. The shorts they had on Monday had the white stripe on it, didn't it? Gone long again. Why is he going long all the time? That's 3 times in the first 5 minutes. Right, here's Sancho. Comes back to Murray. I mean, look, we're only 7 minutes in here, but we didn't create many chances against Rosenborg, so all I can see in the live chat is Casemiro looks shit. I mean, look, to be fair, who's coming to receive the ball from Yoro here? Well, I mean, we're pinging the ball around okay, but, you know, Yoro goes with a long ball. It's a delightful ball into Murray. Murray into Collier. What a ball that was by Yoro, by the way. Collier's going to come back to the edge of the box. Casemiro. Little dinky cross to the back post. Ahmad will keep that in. Ahmad into the box. Lovely play. Ahmad. Oh, is that a corner? Yes, we'll have a corner for that. Good play by Ahmad. Took his man on. It's Ahmad against Sancho, some would say. And it was a lovely ball by Yoro out to Murray. Good advancing run by Murray. Right ball into Collier. Comes back to Casemiro. And then Casemiro's little dink to the far post for Ahmad. Lovely little touch. And just wants to take his man on. Corner. Headed. Ooh, it was Casemiro just wide. Hey, mate, would you pick Yoro or De Ligt, says Ezra? I mean, I'm not getting into this. We've not even bought De Ligt, and I'm not doing Player FC. I want a squad. I want a squad. Casemiro is Scottish quality, Saudi wages. Oh, come on, leave him alone, Sean. Come on. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. You can do that through the dollar sign. Give us your thoughts. Wheatley's playing up front. Nice to see Yoro hitting that angled ball, though. I mean, we are learning about him, but already in the first few minutes, he looks quite confident on the ball. And it was a lovely ball. Here we go. Casemiro, move it quickly. Ahmad, what overlap? Oh, come on. Casemiro ain't looking very good. That's a shit pass. Bloody hell. I mean, that was I'd have been fuming with myself at my age with that. He's got all the time in the world to just slip Wan-Bissaka in. He overhits it by about 200%. Double. Collier, good tackle. Hey, he gets the ball! He gets the ball! He gets the ball, you bloody idiot. That was a good tackle. The ref's a prat. Good play, Yoro. Well done. Rangers nearly getting in. Good tackle, Yoro. Let's have a look at this again. They went with the quick free kick. I like this. Yeah, easy. He's not even out of third gear there. He knows he's got the tackle. Them long legs. Corner to Rangers. We're getting. Tell you what, we've only had what? 10 minutes and we're getting a good look at Yoro. Forget your bloody TikTok clips and your hipsters. This is where you learn. Good recovery pace. Long legs for the tackle, which is always good. And a good passing range so far. Not really seen what he's about in the air yet, physically. But another good cross. Headed away. That was Casemiro, wasn't it? Yeah. Right, Wan-Bissaka, go back to go forward. No, not Casemiro. Slower than a broken clock. Casemiro captain. Gaunter says, I'm very happy with Collier. Yoro looks like a giant, like Casemiro's eyebrows, says Niki. Hey, mate, would you pick Yoro? I've done that one from Ezra. Marky, are we ready? We ready for war, says Dino. Okay. Rangers with the ball here. Yoro's the new Varane, says Jim. I said if he does one good thing, I'm christening him the new Varane. Collier's just a little bit over-eager here. He's given up a couple of fouls. Nice switch of the play. Oh no, they can't control that. So we've had about 11.5 minutes here. United have had 68% possession, which is good. Chance creation is something we'd like to see more of. Pip says, do you think Sancho might be overweight? Some people, I mean, in fairness, mate, some people do come back from pre-season. Not, you know, that's the whole point of pre-season. Some people, you know, actually take some time off, have a few drinks, eat what they don't normally drink, which is, you know, what pre-season's all about. Some people don't. William says, Goldbridge could do a better job in midfield than Casemiro. He's played the game. Yeah, I won't go that far, mate. I won't go that far. Have you looked at your FPL team this year, Mark? Says Fraser. No, I will do, but a little bit early at the moment. I mean, nobody's doing any business, are they? I mean, I think Arsenal are about to get Calafiori, but apart from that, he's so quiet in the transfer window. Anana, play out from the back. Don't go long. That's it. Lovely. Mount's not been in the game yet. He hasn't, has he? Get it to Mount. Oh, that's a throw into us. Do you think he'll change the whole team at half-time? Yeah, I mean, it's only the second pre-season game, so at some point you do start to give people 60 minutes, but I don't think he'll be doing it today. Oh, he's given another foul here on Collier. I mean, look, the positive about the fouls that Collier's giving up is that he's just so physical. For 20 years of age, he's a big lad, isn't he? So is Yoro. I don't think either... Offside. I don't think either of the tackles... Why is... Oh, it's Murrayfield, isn't it? The pitch is very small. There's a lot of grass that's not being used here. Is that because they've got a running track? I don't know whether the pitch is shortened or not. Uh, 22,000 watching. Thanks, everyone. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. United stands. Be nice to see us start creating some chances. There's been a lot of possession, but... As Elvis once sang, a little less conversation, a little more action, please. I think the conversation is the passing. Here's Sancho. Come on. Bad pass. That could have gone quicker. A lot quicker. He's got to get that ball go. I mean, that's pre-season for you, isn't it? That was just that was rusty from Sancho. You need to move the ball quick when the pass is on. There's Collier. Yeah, that's good. Finding a couple of seconds at this level is always good. Ahmad, that's a foul. Come on, get up. Play it, play it, play it. Get up. All right, you've won your foul. Get up. Let's go. Stuart's at work listening in. I will give you more updates than I normally would give on a watch-along. I know a lot of people probably aren't watching it, but good start from a good starting 11 for United. Anana making his first start of the season. Sancho, Ahmad, Yoro, obviously. Collier playing as the 8. Oh, that's a bad pass by Sancho again. Doesn't look sharp, Sancho, does he? A couple of bad passes by Sancho. Another foul here. Do you think Collier is ready to be part of our midfield options? In my opinion, we should get Amrabat, Rabiot and Agate with Casemiro, Ericsson and McTominay out, says Robble. Well, we won't get Agate, Rabiot and Amrabat. We might get two of them. I'm happy. Well, look, this is what we're watching, isn't it? I can't tell you that Collier is ready based on Rosenberg. He needs to get good game time across this tournament, and I think across the next few weeks, and I think he will. Nice little flick on. Here's Ahmad. Oh, lovely play. Cut it back, Ahmad. He's going to be a goal. Oh, no. Lovely play by Ahmad, and Wheatley should have scored. He should have scored. It really was. I mean, Wheatley got... I mean, to be fair to Wheatley, he did the flick on. But look at this from Ahmad. Good pace, good strength. All the way to the byline. Cuts it back. And to be fair to Wheatley, it's good defending. It's good defending that. I mean, he did well. But lovely play by Ahmad again. Every time we've got him sort of down that flank, he's looked dangerous. Now it's Sancho's turn. Goes past his man, cuts it back. Good defending, better from Sancho. I think he's going to have to step it up. They're sort of auditioning against each other, some say, Sancho and Ahmad. Watching on Rangers TV, listening to you, sat in Barbados. Carlsberg don't do pre-season friendlies, but if they did, Viking Crypto Warrior, that sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. Even I'm envious of that. Do you think Ten Hag struggled to form an identity in his first few pre-seasons because at Ajax less players were called up for major tournaments, says Jack? I mean, look, it's difficult, isn't it? We've got a chance to whip a cross in here from a free kick. It's Mason Mount on it. Good height in that team. Casemiro, Yoro, Evans. How are we going to sell Casemiro if he's a pensioner, says 5 Cantonars? And do you think Ten Hag has struggled with... yeah, I mean, look, Jack, it's difficult in pre-season, but you do want to get to a point where you are making everybody play a certain way. And what I mean by that is, you know, if you look at Liverpool under Klopp and Pep under Man City, there is an identity that runs through the entire club, even if 10 players are missing. I'd rather keep Casemiro and not get Rabiot. He has too much baggage. Ugarte would be a must, says the alien. Well, we're talking about that at 8 o'clock, but I think Ugarte looks very, very likely. Ahmad is playing against his former club. This game is personal for him, says Sven. And Arna going long again. Not sure why you'd go long to Mason Mount in a 50-50. You'd say it's probably coming from the coach, though, that, to be honest. I don't think you'd have kicked the ball 4 times in the first 20 minutes long unless you were being told to do it. What's your thoughts on Mount, Mark? Well, it's a very big season for Mason Mount. And you know, he's got to stand out. I still see Mason Mount as a Chelsea player because he had a nothing season last year, didn't he? He's got to, you know, we don't talk about Mount because we're talking about Yoro, we're talking about Collier, we're talking about Sancho, we're talking about Ahmad. But I mean, this is the problem with Mount. He just goes under the radar a lot. We don't talk about him. But I agree with Dylan. This is almost like his first season again. But he doesn't get mentioned enough, does he? Nice to have a look at Yoro. He's a big lad. Ahmad playing well as well, says SK. Yep, give us your thoughts. Thanks for the super chat, SK. Hope you're doing well. Bit of a drinks break here. Ten Hag just having a bit of a chat with some of the players. Look, the thing about this season is we're top heavy for good coaches. You've got Ruud van Nistelrooy there, you've got Rennie Heck there, you've got Ten Hag there. You know, we're putting them structures in place. Would I keep Sancho? What, if I had to make a decision now, would I? No. But I don't have to make a decision now, so let's see. Let's see what happens. Christian, welcome to Members Club. I think the problem that Sancho's got is that Ahmad's playing on the right. I think if Sancho wants to get in this team, he's got to go on the right. And he's never, ever been. Remember when we bought Sancho and he was meant to be a right winger? And we never really used him off the right. And I think if he wants to get in this team, the right wing is the position that is up for grabs. Here is Ahmad, though, on that right-hand side again. And he's done very well again. And that's a foul again. Had a very good game, Ahmad, already. But yeah, Sancho off the left. I just feel that that's where Garnacho wants to play. That's where Rashford has to play. So if you're going to get in this team, you've got to be on the right, really. Darren says Sancho's always been on the left. I mean, you don't know anything about Sancho then, do you? He has played on the left for Dortmund, but he also played on the right. And when we bought him, we expected him to be a right winger, and we didn't use him off the right. So, I mean, I'm not saying that off the left isn't his best position, but he played off the right in the Champions League final. Ahmad looks really good, says Jordan. Look, maybe he is a left winger, but what I'm saying is if he wants to get in this United team, I think we need to see him on the right. Right, free kick to United here. And Ahmad! Ooh, that was close. That was close. Just wide, but not far off. Ahmad with the free kick. I'd say Ahmad's been the most... Oh, it wasn't that close, actually. But I'd say he's been the best player on the pitch so far. Come on, play that quicker, Onana. Bloody hell. That's it, into Yoro. Nice ball. Ahmad again, into feet, you see. Wants to be part of the build-up. I'm excited about what Ahmad could do because I tell you what, if he gets a hint that he's not going to be involved, there'll be a big queue of clubs trying to buy him. Oh, I think what Onana's doing, to be fair, is he's waiting for the press from the Rangers striker and then passing. That's why he's delaying it. Ahmad looks really good, says Jordan. Dan Harding says it might be a small thing, but Yoro's movement and aggression in the attacking corners is very positive, says Dan. Christian, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. You're a legend. And SK, we've read that as well. Thank you very much. So you see what Onana's doing here. He's waiting for the Rangers player to come towards him, and then he plays the pass. But actually, he's not waiting. It's gone long again. I don't like these long balls from Ahmad, Onana. Max, thank you very much for your super chat. Rashford's got a bit of a knock. Yeah, and Anthony and Lindelof. I mean, look, Anthony gets a lot of knocks, doesn't he? And he needs to be bloody fit. You know, he's not the sort of player that can afford to be missing a large amount of games in pre-season when, you know, his place in the team is not guaranteed. Bit of stretching. G-Man says Ahmad's looking sharp. Yeah, I think I just tweeted it. My best player on the pitch. Sal Casemiro or McTominay? Both. Wheelbarrow. Here's Ahmad again. Lovely ball by Ahmad. And it was a good, decent cross by Sancho that wins a corner. Good play. What do you think Varane would have told Yoro about joining United versus Madrid? Says Abhijith. It wasn't actually anybody in the box really for that cross from Sancho. Another corner for United here. I mean, look, I don't really care about who said what to Yoro. The bottom line is he's a Man United player now, and you know the Madrid thing's finished. We just need to get on with it and go and get more players. Here's Sancho. Little dink to the back post. It's a good cross, and it'll be another corner. At least there's been more attacking action from United in this game. We've definitely looked a lot better than we did against Rosenborg. Andy says we're struggling with Rangers C team. I don't think this is Rangers C team, to be honest, mate. I don't think Rangers are good enough to have a C team, let alone... Well, I should have said B team, let alone a C team. Sancho or Anthony, says Co. Well, I'll do a poll. Either or. The funny thing is, I don't think either of them are sellable because of their price tag and wages. Harry Redford says, Sancho's proving you wrong again, Mark. Mate, that comment is so wrong on so many levels. I love how people... I love how people make up agendas and rhetoric that aren't true. I mean, for one, he's not proving anybody wrong because he's done next to nothing in this half. And for two, there's nothing to prove me wrong on. I don't know what people don't understand about the fact that if a player plays well for Manchester United, I win. So no one's proving anybody wrong. If a player starts playing well for Man United, we win. We need a creative winger. But whether it can be Sancho, I don't know. I still think Sancho will leave Man United before August the 31st anyway. I think we're just putting him in the shop window, getting him fit. I called him the flea. I don't think I'd ever use those words, to be honest with you, mate. Here's Casemiro. Johnny Evans. Go wide. That's it. Yoro into the space. That's it. Attack the space. Lovely ball into Wan-Bissaka. Collier's your ball. Lovely ball. Cut it back. Oh, another corner. No. Yeah. That's a shame. That was a good build-up play between Collier and Wan-Bissaka, but just needed to cut it back. Funny Joke says that Wright, Barron, De Seers, Jeff, Sterling and Davies are all not first-choice Rangers players. It's a rotation squad. Where's all your first-team players then, mate? Look, I don't know anything about Rangers. I don't get involved in that. So you're telling me that Rangers have got so much money and so much squad depth that we're playing their C team? Because I've never known a football club that's got a C team full of people in their mid to late 20s. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but I didn't know Rangers were so well off that they can put a C team out against Man United that are all of an experienced age. Here's Sancho. Go on, lay it off. That's it. Casemiro. Mount. Ooh. Sancho just caught one on the ankle there. Daniel Farr says that it's mostly starters, some subs. Anybody know anything about Rangers? Like, is their second half team any good? Luke says it is the starting lineup with a couple of backups in it. I mean, look, this is the only comment you're going to get on Scottish football from me. I think it's a shame that the Rangers-Celtic excitement has died off because Celtic are just in a much stronger position, aren't they? I think Rangers fans know already that nothing good's going to happen this season other than another Celtic title. Lovely play by Collier there defensively. Ahmad's got a bit of time. Collier's your pass. Turn around. That's nice by Onana. Like to see that. Little 1-2. Oh, Ahmad. Wan-Bissaka was the pass there. Sancho versus Anthony. 69% Sancho. I mean, Anthony's coming from a long... I like Anthony. I think there could be a good player there, but I understand. I would probably say that, you know, suitability for the team at their very best. If you could get anything like the best out of Sancho, then he would give us some creativity that we haven't got. Whereas I think with Anthony, we're just so used to him being so one-footed, cutting inside and shooting, aren't we? He's almost like the left-footed Rashford, in the way that he will always cut inside and shoot. Whereas, you know, there is some creativity from Sancho and Ahmad, which is desperately required. Rangers team for the second half will be similar, says Jojo. Yeah, it looks like Rangers have done a bit of a split, haven't they? Oh, that's a good cross. And he got the shot off. Yoro, it's not quite tight enough there. I mean, it's hard to judge this. Does Yoro get anything wrong? Cross comes in. Striker has the time to shoot. Yeah, he's just not quite tight enough there. You know, if that's a good striker, that could be 1-0. Yeah, he's turned him. Yeah, it's got to be a bit tighter there. He's only 18. Scooby-Doo, I've played the game, says Tristan. And Rangers team for the second half will be similar. Thank you very much. Shilo says, what do you think about changing the offside rule to be whole of the attacker must be beyond the defender? This change would make it more consistent with whole of the ball. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. It would make it very difficult for defenders. I mean, I just think keep the offside rule the way it is. Here's Sancho. Oh, Ahmad. Nice ball to Mount. Where are we going, Mason? Into Sancho. Cut it back, cut it back, cut it back. Oh, good defending. I don't understand why Ahmad isn't playing for us in the right wing, even if I don't take pre-season seriously, but he's the only creative rather than Bruno, says Sabatashi. Mason Mount wearing the number 7. I tell you what, I hope Mason Mount does well, but that was a PR disaster. That was a stupid decision, whoever made that. He never should have been given the number 7, should he? And look, that doesn't mean he's crap. I thought we'd learnt about handing the number 7 to a new signing after Memphis. Like we shouldn't have done that. Here we go. Rangers are in, but Johnny Evans, and it's a shot straight at Anana. I tell you what, they've had a couple of chances in the last couple of minutes, Rangers. Would you give Garnacho the number 7? Well, if you had, let's say the number 7 shirt was taken off Mason Mount and we've got to give it to somebody else, who would you give it? I think Garnacho. I think Garnacho. But I don't understand why we gave it to Mason Mount. It's such an important shirt to some United fans that it should be earned. It shouldn't be an incentive to come and sign for Manchester United. I mean, we did that with Memphis and it just didn't work. It should be earned. And it's a shame because if Mason Mount doesn't get in the team this year, then the number 7 for Man United doesn't even bloody play again. But for some people, it doesn't matter at all. It's just a number. But for some of us, it really matters. And you want an iconic number 7 ideally. But if you don't get an iconic one, you want someone that's in the bloody team. Nice ball to Sancho. He's got options. Yeah, have a shot, Casemiro. Have a shot. Have a shot. Yeah. Oh. He was right to have a shot. Another corner. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. I think there's a chance on De Ligt coming to United, even though we just got Lenny. And would you rather United keep Ahmad or Rashford, says Leighton. Well, I think there's a good chance that De Ligt will come to Manchester United, yes. Would I keep Ahmad or Rashford? I need a little bit more information. Because if you're telling me that Rashford goes for 70 million, I'll keep Ahmad. If you're telling me that, I've just got to kick one of them out the club. There's a lovely, God, blocked. It's one of them corners where you play it on the edge. Right, 2v2 here. Could become a 2v3. He's going to mess that up. Easy. Good defending. Leo says, please wish my son Connor a happy 30th birthday and remind him he still hasn't beat his old dad one-on-one. Bloody hell, Connor, you need to bloody get on with it. How old's your dad? I mean, even if he was at it at 16, he's still 46. Fair play, Leo. He's played the game. But Connor, happy birthday, but your dad's still beating you one-on-one. I mean, I don't want to say... I don't know whether 16's legal for a bloke to be doing it. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road. But I just know. One of my mates at school was a dad at 16. Is it legal? I don't know. Let's not start thinking about it. Thank God. I've always thought the number 7 will be used in future contract negotiations with Garnacho. That's why he wasn't given it last year, says Dan. Number 7 is for players with aura and consistency, says Samsung. Leo, that's got to be the chat of the day. And what do you think about Valverde at Real Madrid? Good player, Frisch, but never going to come to United. Rangers on the attack again. This could be a... Oh, no. Yoro, good block. Second shot, good save. Rangers are having a lot of chances at the moment. What's this all about? What's going on here? They're having loads of chances. It's not the defence's fault. It's the bloody midfield again. That came from a Yoro pass, to be fair. But he got a good block in. But I just think Casemiro ain't that guy. Everyone is already saying Yoro is mid and it's 60 million down the drain. Reactionary FC. Not everyone immediately hits the ground running. Wait till the end of the season before you talk rubbish, says Jackie Boy. Mate, let me... Sancho got 71% of the vote. Well done for that. Look, there's going to be a lot of people wanting Yoro not to do well, isn't there? Let's be clear. Who's playing their last game for United today, says Glenn. Honestly, probably nobody. I mean, I'd like to think Wan-Bissaka, but, you know, he could still go on the tour. I think Man United fly out on Thursday. So... Casemiro will go on the tour for sure. Nice ball into Sancho, but not great control there. Another throw in for United. Well, Rangers have had a good few minutes there, and answers on a postcard as to why we're gifting up all these chances. I think it's to do with the lack of creativity. Sorry, the lack of a balanced midfield. Ahmad! Oh! Get in, Ahmad! Get in, Ahmad! A star is reborn. This is the guy. This is the guy. Have some of that. Get that on your toast and on your bloody bread. Get it in a sandwich. Get it in your head. That was absolutely brilliant by Ahmad. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I mean, I know it's only pre-season, but we're allowed to get excited by these types of moments. And he picks it up on the right-hand side. He cuts inside on his left foot. Opens up a bit of space, close control, lovely finish into the bottom corner. It's unstoppable. It's got curl on it. It's got more curl than a bloody boomerang. And it should be sponsored by the Ice Cream Man because that's got some whip on it as well. Lovely, lovely play by Ahmad. And I tell you what, that's how you cut inside and shoot off your left foot. Absolutely brilliant. Pre-season Perlo award for Ahmad. Well, look, he is in this bit... Ahmad's in this sort of situation where Rashford and Garnacho are considered the first two choice players. Towards the end of last season, Ahmad was pushing. I thought I might have been in the minority, but I think Ahmad should have started in the final on the right, and I think Garnacho should have started on the left. Obviously, he started with Rashford and Garnacho, but I think Ahmad was very close to the first team last year. Now, what we know about Ahmad is he will leave United if he isn't going to be in the first team this year. Now, you can't say I'm in the first team, but he's got to be like I'm pushing. He wants to be in the top 3. He wants to be Rashford, him, and Garnacho fighting for places. He doesn't want to be a backup. Doesn't want to be 4th choice. Doesn't want to be 5th choice. So Ahmad will leave if Ten Hag says, "I've got Anthony and Sancho. You've got to fight out with them." He will go. We've got to think of Ahmad now as, is he ready to be fighting Garnacho and Rashford for a first choice space? And then Anthony and Sancho have got to fight for the 4th and the 5th, if we have 5. So I'm really pleased for Ahmad because I know it's only pre-season, But Anthony, Ahmad and Sancho are fighting for that. And yeah, lovely. Good play by Mount in the build-up as well. I sort of got lost with the Ahmad goal. SK says that's the difference. Ahmad looked like he wanted it all game. Such a difference. Creativity in midfield and slow movement up top for lack of goals. Important to get the goal as well. Important to get the goal in pre-season. So 41 minutes. We're leading 1-0. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Messi regen. Future Ballon d'Or winner. Sarcasm, says Jackie. Told you Nacho wasn't guaranteed right wing. You ignored it, says United 1. Yeah, mate, it's pre-season. Mark, do you think there's a chance we could make another signing before we go on tour, says Daily Hibbert? I think there's a very good chance. And Sir John says it's way better than Maguire Lindelof. Can't wait to get Yoro and the Butcher on his side. I'm not missing Varane now, says Sir John. It's pre-season. What other players should we look to get into, says Don. Well, I think midfield needs to be worked on next, Don. Yeah. What a goal by Ahmad. We love it. We love it. And we deserve it. I mean, if Ahmad played off the right, Garnacho, for me, has to play off the left. You know, Garnacho can't be going back to the bloody bench. So, what do you do with Rashford then? Competition for places is what you do. I don't think there is anything. I don't think there's such thing as first choice. You know, you could play Rashford against Fulham, and then, you know, Carabao Cup or the next game against Brighton, you might put Garnacho there. It's about, you play long games these days, don't you? So, you know, we need as many good players as possible, really. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We're on the road to 1.9 million. If I told you we are only 28 subscribers away from 897, you might call me a liar, but why would I lie about something like that? We're only 28 subscribers away from 897. We're trying to get up to 1.9 million before the start of the season, so we can be on the road to 2 going into the new season. So please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. But United playing with a bit of a buzz now. They've got a goal, and this might be the last 2 minutes we see these players, actually. I'm expecting 11 changes at half-time, but you know, we'll have a chat about it half-time, but start thinking, you know, who's stood out, who's done okay, who could have done better. Bit of a school report at half-time. Here's Murray. Back to Johnny Evans. I mean, Johnny Evans, again, just very reliable. I'm sorry, give Diallo 30 games this season. He will just as good as Saka next season and already on Garnacho level, says Kaylin. Pre-season Perlo. Secret Identity says, do you know if the likes of Bruno, Maino and Delo will be back for the US tour? I don't think they should be back for the US tour. Lovely ball into Ahmad again. This could be 2. He's got a bit of space. Lays it off to Sancho. Oh, he should score. He should score. It's lovely play by Ahmad. It's lovely play by Ahmad again. And Sancho should score that. He's got all the time in the world. He's on the edge of the box. Look at Ahmad again. And Sancho should score. I mean, that's a crap shot. It's straight down the middle. It's got too much power on it. When you look at it back, it's worse than you thought. It's just a bad shot. Very central and too much power on it. But lovely play by Ahmad. Yeah, I don't think we will see Bruno, Maino and Delo on tour. And I don't think we should see them on tour because I'd like to see them get 3 weeks break. Højlund will be. Ahmad is our Saka, says Anthony. Thank you very much. Lots of people getting excited. I'll cry with happiness if Garnacho, Højlund and Ahmad are our first game of the season. And Chris MGD, thank you very much for subscribing. And sorry, becoming a member. Robbie Doyle says, is there any news on Malacia? I think he can make a real impact this season. I mean, are you taking the piss? Are you actually taking the piss? I mean, you think a backup left back that we haven't seen play for over a year can have a big impact this season? And we haven't seen him for a year because of a really, really bad injury. Half-time. Half-time. Right, give me your thoughts, everybody. So, Manchester United lead 1-0 at half-time. Let's get those stats up. I mean, I haven't even been thinking about stats in a pre-season game, but let's take and pause. We're only 10 subscribers away from 897,000, so please do subscribe. So what I want to talk about at half-time is we'll get the team lineup back on the screen in a minute, and we'll sort of give everybody a mark out of 10. But who were your standout players and who wasn't? 71% possession for Man United is really good. I mean, Rangers did have chances. They had 6 shots, 3 on target, but that means we've controlled the ball. 2 shots on target, 8 for us. 7 corners to 1. Could have been a little bit more clinical, I think, with the ball. But we lead 1-0 at half-time. We were the better side. And I think the only issue I would have that we had about 10 minutes before Ahmad scored where Rangers had 4 or 5 chances because our midfield just seemed to disappear and disintegrate. So that was a bit of a concern again. But I think we all know what that concern is. And it begins with C. Whether he's mentally in the game or physically in the game, he still looks like he's a bit of a passenger at times. I don't really understand why that is. But that's how it looks at half-time, 1-0 to Manchester United. Let's get the 11 on the screen, and then we can go through performance-wise, because we might not see any of them second half. I think he might change the whole team. I don't mind keeping Anthony on the bench, but he needs to fight for his place. Ahmad has to start, says Hasha. Good morning, everyone. Here, how is Ahmad not third choice winger? It's crazy, says Paul. Ahmad plus Garnacho are better than Rashford and Anthony. And Sancho, says Sean. Mason Mount looks ready, says Franklin. Yeah. I mean, look, I want to talk about Mason Mount. You know, I think there were good and bad bits. I don't know how he's going to get into the team, but hopefully he can have a more important role this season because we certainly need to see the best of Mason Mount. But let's have a look at the game. So Onana for me, first half, not really had a lot to do. I'd probably give him a 6. Kicking the ball long a bit, but I think that was probably by design. We know he can do more with the ball at his feet playing out. I thought Onana did quite well. Murray at left back, again, probably give him a 6.5. He's a young lad. You know, he's not somebody we expect to be part of the first team setup. And if I was a championship club, I'd be looking at taking him on loan. So I think Murray's done quite well for himself in that first half. Wan-Bissaka, steady. Wan-Bissaka, we expect him to move on. What you see is what you get sometimes. Yoro, I give Wan-Bissaka a 6. Probably 6.5, actually. I thought he got forward quite well. Yoro and Evans, both the same score for me. Probably give them both 6.5, touching on a 7. Johnny Evans first, just very organised, a leader, strong. And then Yoro, very impressed with his recovery pace, his passing range, his confidence. There's a couple of times where he wasn't touch tight on the striker, especially that cut back cross. But, you know, he's not going to be flawless. It's his first pre-season game. And I thought he showed a lot of confidence for somebody making his debut 2 days after signing for Man United. So very excited about Yoro, and you can see physically that he's a real, you know, big signing. So I was very happy with Yoro. Casemiro, probably a 5, if I'm being honest. I know that's a little bit harsh in pre-season, but that's the conductor role. And I've said before, it's one of the hardest roles to play in football. The job that Rodri does, but even from a Man United point of view, if you think about Michael Carrick, Roy Keane, such an important role. And you've got to get hold of the game. And I don't think Casemiro did get hold of the game. I think there were some good passes. I think there were some bad passes. I think there were some good tackles. I think there were some bad tackles. But I think we had that 10-minute period between 25 minutes and 35 minutes where Rangers were getting loads of chances because the midfield just wasn't there. So, yeah, I mean, Casemiro just continues to be a concern, and I just don't see how he's going to do it in the Premier League, and I don't think we can have a player on the bench at that wage, really. But, you know, Collier, look, I think Collier at times struggled because of the midfield was being overrun a little bit, but what I like about Collier is that's a step up for him. I mean, on Monday, he's playing second half with a bunch of teammates from the youth setup against Rosenborg. Today, he's playing with the likes of Johnny Evans and Casemiro and Mason Mount and Jadon Sancho. That's a step up for Collier. I'd give him a 6, but I'm happy with that because I don't expect him to be putting 7 or 8s in. And you know, there's something there with Collier, and you know, I'm quite happy to just keep going down that journey because he's a young player, and I think again, like Yoro, the confidence and will come with the more game time we give him. But I think there's a player in Collier. Mason Mount, probably give him a 6.5, building towards a 7, actually, at half-time. I think he grew into the game. I think that, obviously, the confidence to play as a number 10, which he won't normally get, is really big for Mason Mount. And the most important thing about Mason Mount is game time. Like, we're never going to know what he is until we start seeing him play regularly. And I thought he did well in that first half. Wheatley, if we go down the middle, I mean, I'd probably give Wheatley the same as Collier. I'd probably give him a 6. He should have scored. It was good defending, but he should have scored. But it was him. He flicked it on. He's had some good little layoffs. I think Collier's done okay, and we've not really had anybody else. So, sorry, not Collier. I think Wheatley's done okay, and we don't really have anybody else. And I don't think there's really any massive pressure on the lad either. And, I don't know what the plan is with Wheatley. I mean, he's probably played... I mean, he will get some game time in the US, but as Rasmus comes back and then Xerxes, I don't know whether we'll loan him or whether we'll keep him involved. But I think he's done okay again. Exclusive says, I didn't even notice Mason Mount. And then you're left with the 2 wingers. And I think that the interesting thing about Ahmad and Sancho is that I think many of us believe that they are 2 players that are going to be in direct competition with each other. The dynamic of the wingers at the moment is Garnacho and Rashford are first 2. They're definitely that. Rightly or wrongly, they're the first choice 2. So it's that fight for the 3rd place. And nobody, whether it's Anthony, Sancho or Ahmad, wants to not be 3rd choice, fighting for 1st place. You don't want to be in 4th place or 5th place, because then you're putting your hand up and saying, I want to leave. So Sancho, Ahmad and Anthony's, when he's back, this pre-season's really important, because they are basically fighting for the right to be in Ten Hag's mind as the guy that's fighting for a first team place with Rashford and Garnacho. And there will be a pecking order. It's all right saying, well, they could all fight for it. That's bollocks. We know it's bollocks. We know Garnacho and Rashford are the top 2, and we know there's a place for the 3rd person. And I think that Ahmad, for me, was man of the half. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant half. And just so many creative moments, so much hunger. I know so many game-changing moments capped off with the goal. But even that chance he created for Sancho, it's not just shooting, it's creativity. I mean, what I loved about the chance he created for Sancho was he was in exactly the same position where he could have gone for the same shot again. And you're thinking, well, Rashford shoots from there, Anthony shoots from there, maybe Garnacho shoots from there. He's just scored from there, so he's got his eye in, and he didn't. He laid it off for Sancho, and that creative mentality is really important as well, because we know Anthony's going to shoot in that situation again, 100%. So I liked the way he laid it off for Sancho. So for me, I'd give Ahmad probably an 8 in that first half. It's hard not to. Sancho wasn't terrible. I don't know whether I'd go as low as a 6. I might give him a 6.5 because there were some good bits a couple of times. I think he played it safe a lot. I think he played the simple pass a lot, and I don't think he looks fit enough to... I think Ahmad looks like he's further ahead than Sancho, fitness-wise. But yeah, I mean, if you're comparing Ahmad and Sancho, there was a clear winner and winger. But I don't think Sancho was terrible. I don't think he was terrible. I'd probably give him maybe I'd give him a generous 6.5, maybe a 6. But Ahmad was the player of that half. And you know what, as well, if you want to take, doesn't matter what position we're talking about, the one player that really stood out in that half was Ahmad. And I guarantee Ten Hag and Ruud and everyone else picked up on it. It was the hunger. You know, this is all right. This is a pre-season game in Scotland against Rangers, but there's only 3 more to go before we play the Community Shield. There's only 3 more pre-season games to go, and you're only going to play 45 minutes today. You've got to grab your moments. And some players today looked like they were going through the motions, whereas Ahmad looked like he was like really, really up for it. Wheatley to be the academy breakout this season, says Oliver. I think it'd be difficult for him if Rasmus and Xerxes stay fit. A lot of people saying what Savi's saying, that Ahmad is our Saka. Which winger would you move on, sell or loan, says Carb? Look, I don't know. I don't know, because I don't know how easy it is or what interest there is. I can't see it being easy to offload any of our wingers apart from Garnacho and Ahmad. Nobody wants Rashford, nobody wants Anthony, and nobody wants Sancho. So I think it's very difficult to offload any of them. But I think Sancho will still go. I think this is a clever move by Manchester United to put Jadon Sancho in the shop window by putting him into the pre-season and saying he's part of the team. I might be completely wrong, but I still think Sancho might go. And also, you've got to understand that if Jadon Sancho realises he's behind Rashford, Garnacho and Ahmad, is Jadon Sancho going to want to sit on his arse again behind those players? I mean, all footballers have an ego, and he's 24 now, and I don't think he's going to want to be fourth choice player for Manchester United unless he's had a complete and utter personality transplant. I just don't think he will. So I still think that Sancho will go. I think Anthony will be happy to sit and fight for his place as third or fourth choice, to be honest. But I might have read the room wrong. I don't think Anthony will go. I hope Ahmad won't go, and I think Sancho might go because he wants to play first team football. Cozy says, if Ahmad continues to play like he's playing today, do you think he can have a stamp on the right wing? There's no reason why not. Michelle Jackson, welcome to the Members Club. Maximino says, Yoro with the most passes, 44 passes successful out of 48, 92% accuracy, and 4 out of 7 long passes with a 57% accuracy. I think with Varane or Martinez, we dominate, says Dino. And I think Ahmad performance isn't really a pre-season Pirlo because he showed us at the end of last season a bit of what he's capable of, says Waleed. Sam says that Mason Mount is a Grealish role for Man United. Not a regular starter, but someone who comes off the bench and starts some games. Ahmad, Yoro, Mount, best, worst, Casemiro and Wheatley, says Jims. Have been fed up with Jadon abandoning us, but it's nice to see him in a red. Mount staying too high. Lenny is perfect, isn't he, says the Angry Jawa. I think Rashford should leave this summer, Mark. Based on the eye test, I believe Ahmad, Sancho, Garnacho and Anthony are well suited for possession style. He might not get a chance in first team after this season, says Abhijit. Mark, I know it's pre-season, but I'm impressed with Yoro for a debut, says Martin. Do you think we're going to sign Frimpong, says Real Zing? I mean, I hope we're going to sign Frimpong, and I think there's a chance we'll sign Frimpong, but I think Wan-Bissaka's got to go first. Thoughts on Yoro? Also, Toby is the future, says Cesar. Hi, Mark. Been watching for years. Love the channel. What are your current thoughts on the new ownership and how they're doing so far? Well, it's not new ownership, is it? It's a 25% stake, and they run the football side of things, and they're doing a good job. But we're still owned by the Glazers. I've been very impressed with Yoro through his first 45, says Z3. And I don't mind keeping Anthony on the bench. We've done that one. Okay, I think we're just about caught up. It's better to sell Anthony now, says Sanil. Sanil, you're the sacrificial lamb. But I've got very little time for comments that have no logic. I saw an ex-player the other day saying we should sign Ollie Watkins. And I was like, we're never signing Ollie Watkins. It's irrelevant. And to you, Sanil, we're never selling Anthony. It's not based in reality. We're not selling Anthony. No one will buy him. So there's no point. It's like when people saying we should sell Luke Shaw. He's always injured. Oh, because no one else has got a brain. No one's going to buy Luke Shaw. I mean, I wouldn't sell him anyway, but we're not going to sell Anthony. We're not going to sell Luke Shaw. We've got to get realistic. I missed it and the app keeps crashing, says Ebishek. How was the first half? Yeah, I mean, look, it's pre-season. I think Ahmad's been the standout player. There's been glimpses of Yoro and Mason Mount. They've done quite well. But, yeah, I think Ahmad's the standout player for me. This is the worst Rangers squad since 18-19. I'd not be surprised if we don't get Champions League or Europa League group stages. Also, 5 starters not playing, says Craig72. Chiri hasn't been this excited about a transfer market and our prospects for a season in a long time. Players are coming out. If the wingers are listing, says SK, whatever happens, just show the hunger and sharpness that you need to get a move or time for the first team, says SK. Can Yoro be our best signing, says Undefeated? Well, it can be. Diallo great as per usual, says Joshua. We read that. Barra, welcome to Members Club. They'll get a good offer for Ahmad and they'll take it, says Matthew. I think there'd be a bloody riot if we did that, to be honest with you. Right, please do subscribe, by the way. We were very close to 897,000. I don't know whether we've hit it. I think we've changed the whole team here. So we're going to see people like Hugel, Ennis, Bennett, Maybury's on, of course. So you have to bear with me here. Amas at left back. A lot of people will be looking at him. Unfairly criticised, I felt, on Monday for a young player. I think some people have overhyped Amas when the reality is he might not actually be ready yet, but he's certainly a player for the future. Liam Gore's back, apparently, in the chat. Xerxes on holiday, David. And I don't think there's one player from the first half that's come out for the second half. So it's a completely different United side. It'll be an interesting watch now, says James the S. Well, look, some might say that this Rangers team is still got a lot of experienced players in it, whereas Manchester United don't. So some might say that Manchester United are going to struggle in this second half. But we've seen it in previous years where the youngsters can actually do quite well because they're used to playing with each other. So we will see. I mean, are there any players in this second half we're looking at? Well, we could do with a better second half from Hannibal, to be honest with you. I thought he was very poor in Rosenborg. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a better second half from him. They'll update that starting lineup in a minute, so I'm just going to start the stats carousel for you. It's Saturday in Australia and my mate's twisted rubber arm for a drink or two. Anyway, what do you expect of Ten Hag this season, says Toad Kane. I expect top four. I think that's got to be the minimum. Ahmad and Garnacho feels very well balanced. Yoro very impressive as well, says Free Immortal. On Football Manager, La Liga players have release clause. Zubi in, says Abanaf. And Rashford and Anthony give the ball away too easily, says Sam. One prop I will give Sancho is not wasteful. Yeah, in a possession system, I agree. Tristan says, I'm looking forward to the start of the season. Already the squad looks fitter. Really don't want another start to the season like we had against Wolves last year when we looked after the pace. And Alberto says, Mark, do you think it's a good season to look to win the Europa League? Keep doing a good job, mate. Well, I think the Europa League is always... I would like to win the Europa League, but not at the detriment of top four. And I think that's why it's always difficult to say we've got to get top four in the Europa League, because anybody who's played the game or watched the game knows that in March there's so many bloody knockout games for the Europa League, and it's very difficult to do Thursday, Sunday. But nice bit of play here by United, just moving it through. Here's Amas on the left-hand side. And that's Hannibal, who really does need to stand out here. Lovely ball, lovely ball. Cuts it back, and Rangers do well to clear it. Mark, didn't see the first half. How did everyone play, says Tom. In general, everybody was pretty much above average, apart from Casemiro, and Ahmad was the standout player. I think that's about right. Ben Hastings, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much. You're wasting your time, la 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 la. Taylor says, Mark, considering Anthony is very left-footed, do you think it would be a good idea to try him on the left to put crosses in the box? It's season 3 for Anthony. Who do you prefer more, last season Delo or after the World Cup Wan-Bissaka? Delo, Sven, better going forward. Just to give you a rundown of the second half, they have just updated it. So let me just pause that for you. So that is the United 11 for the second half. So Anana's still in goal. Agonye at right back. Fish and Bennett centre backs. Then you've got Amas on the left. Oyedele, Fletcher and Hannibal as the midfield three. And then Ennis, Mata and Hugel as the front three. So, yeah, I mean, look, I'm looking at that midfield and Fletcher again, and hoping that, you know, he can stand out a little bit, because there's high hopes for both of those. Obviously, Darren Fletcher's kids, but there is high hopes for both of those players. But look, it's a chance to stand out. You're playing. It's men against boys, really. You know, you are playing against a Rangers team that's probably would expect to win this second half. They've got more experience. Somebody just said fish and chips in the chat. I wouldn't mind some fish and chips tonight. I don't know what to have tonight. I'm thinking lasagna. I'll tell you what, I need a bit of pre-season myself. Ahmad equals best winger up the club, says Tom. His Rangers on the attack. And he's won a corner. Lasagna and chips, says Anthony. Ooh, I tell you, I don't think I've had lasagna and chips for years. Lasagna and chips. I think the last time I've had lasagna and chips was when I used to work in Ireland, and I worked at Merrion Row, across the road from O'Donoghue's pub, and we always used to eat in Doheny and Nesbitt's, which was about 50 metres down the road on the left-hand side, or across the road from there, Foley's, and on a Friday they used to do a lasagna with chips and gravy. Gravy on lasagna, what's that all about? Lovely stuff. Anyway, enough for you to talk. We are live at 8 o'clock tonight, by the way. There's a lot to update you on transfers. We'll keep it back for the 8 o'clock show because this is a pre-season game. Who do we think is playing as the holder in the midfield? Because it looks like it might be Fletcher to me. He runs like his dad as well. If anyone who's old enough to remember Fletcher, he runs like his dad. He's got that run like him as well. It's mad, isn't it, that? If Seb runs like me, God help him. Lovely play by Ahmad. That's better. That's better. And I think that's going to go for a... No, kept it in. Anthony says he does run like his dad. He does. Yeah, Darren Fletcher's his dad. Number 19. He's playing as a holding midfielder. Well, I don't know whether he is. I don't think he is playing as a holding midfielder. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who do you think's playing as the holding midfielder for United in the second half? Because it ain't easy to sort of tell, really. It's either Oyedele or Fletcher. I think it might be Oyedele, and Fletcher's playing box to box. Hello, Fresh with a sip of sneak, says Dino. I'll tell you what, no word of a lie, I was clearing out the pool room today. I say pool room, it's just a shed. And I found a box, and it was full of, half full, of cans of sneak. And I was going to have a can, but the sell-by date was out of date. So I was like, I've got to tip them down the sink and then recycle, which is what we should all be doing. I was like, that used to be, those were the days. FIFA Career Mode on Twitch with sponsored by Sneak. Remember you used to get the little scoops and pop them in, shake them all about. What was that one I really liked? Cherry something with ice cubes in. Oh, they were the D's. Anyway, back to the match. Here we go. Good play. Fletcher's got it. No, bad pass. Bit nervous out there at the moment. Cherry bomb, that was it. God, that just tells you how many people actually have been following our content for so long that so many people know it's Cherry bomb. Madness. The community's a madness. People join and they never leave. It's like the Hotel California. You can check out. You can check in any time, but you may never leave. Why would you want to leave? Here's Hugel. I mean, that's got Mabry on the right wing, but I don't think that's right. I don't think Mabry's playing on the right wing. Dylan says, what sneak? Well, I'm not going to mention anything else about it because they don't sponsor us anymore. So, I don't know. I've never heard of them. Is it a midfield 2? Says 960 show. Don't know if you've discussed this yet. Just tuned in, but Ahmad has been really great. Would really like to see him get a place in the squad, says Robert. Robert, amazingly, we haven't mentioned Ahmad at all in this first 55 minutes. So, yeah, I think we should have another 10 minutes talking about Ahmad because we've not spoken about him at all, Robert. Taking the piss, Robert. Yeah, he's our man of the match. Easily. Here's Ennis playing off the right-hand side. See what I mean, though? This is what tends to happen. These players have played together so much that they actually bank. This happened in last year as well, and it happened the year before. Sometimes the youth come on in the second half and they perform better than the players in the first half because they're used to playing with each other. Sancho's gone off, Agent United. I mean, you might not have noticed the difference, to be fair. I'm taking the piss. It wasn't that bad in the first half. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. We are creating a team for when Pep leaves City. Young, talented and hungry, says Nick Warren. I mean, you know what? Hold on, Rangers are on the attack here. Good play. Good defending. I think it was that Fish or Bennett who cleared that? But I actually thought the same thing the other day. I was like, tactically, for Man United, next season is not a title. It was Fish who cleared it. But the year after could be an opportunity. And I don't think Man United will be the only team thinking about this. If Man City get relegated or points deducted or something like that, Man City will win the league next year. I'll tell you that now. But the year after, depending on whether they get found guilty or not, there'll be a hole. Now, Arsenal will expect to fill that hole, but, you know, you can almost use this season as a... And we're not ready, so you've got to use it as a preparation season. But, I mean, Fish again, I mean, I know it's not fashionable, but Fish has looked all right again. Looking forward for the start of the season, a steadier ship and a little vision has me optimistic. And Rude's back, says Gavin. Rangers winger Matondo, remember when United were linked with him years ago, says Ginger. Mate, we've been linked to so many players, I actually can't. I think Will Fish will go on loan, won't he, again? 21. Only just 21. Had a good loan with Hibs last year. I'm just having a look how long his contract is. I don't know when it doesn't say on Transfer Market when it goes. I mean, Vitek's unlucky not to get on. I suppose he played 90 the other night, didn't he? But Mark, thoughts on the lad from Arsenal's academy? We're rumoured to sign him. Personally, I haven't seen enough of him. Mate, I've got no bloody idea, and I'm not going to watch him either. I'm not watching some Arsenal youth clips for a 16-year-old. If our scouts think he's good enough, give him a chance. David says this left back looks useful. Well, Amas is a player that a lot of people talk about, and I think he's got a lot of potential. He played on Monday, and some people thought they'd give him a load of shit, but he's literally 17, so he's definitely one for the future, and I don't think he's quite ready yet. But Rangers are in here. Good defending again, and Anana's quick out of his goal. What transfer saga do you remember the most, says Veghorse? Saga? Vidal? I think Vidal was the one that pissed me off. I don't think we weren't doing the United stand then, I don't think. But I remember Vidal, I just wanted us to get Vidal. And I think it was under Sir Alex, wasn't it, Vidal? Or was it somebody else? I forget. But I remember we were being told we were going to get Vidal, and then it was like, is he going to go on the tour to Australia for Juventus? And he did. We never bought him. Perisic as well, that was another one. I think the ones that you remember are the ones that you don't get. I mean, I remember Ronaldinho. Bloody hell. That's in my book. I write about that in my book. Ronaldinho. Although there's a twist of fate to that. Struggling because I'm drunk and there's no names on the shirts, says Andres. I don't know why there's no names on the shirts in pre-season. I mean, maybe that's normal. I don't know. That's why I've kept that up for you, so you can see the names and the numbers. The loan's done. Will Fish some good. It seems. Remember when he took out the Wrexham forward as well, says SK. Do you think Casemiro will leave? Says Sakin. I think he has to. Billy Welch says St Just and Proctor and Kent and Electric Mango and Cherry Bomb and Blue Raspberry and Tropicilla. Rivals years that compared to the 99 season. No, it was a lovely time, Billy. I don't think I realised it at the time. Proctor, Kent, Electric Mango and Cherry Bomb. Yeah, it was, if you know, you know, definitely. Fish looks good, says Hader. He's a bit like a slightly quicker Johnny Evans, isn't he? But to be fair to him, would you want to be fifth choice centre back at Man United, or would you want to go and play? I mean, he was playing last season for Hibs, so I think loan him out. I mean, now that we're not going to get Branthwaite, we've got Yoro, we've got Martinez, we've got Evans. I'm sure we'll get De Ligt. Do you go with Fish as well? Mark, if everything... what was that? If everything goes to plan, do you think Ten Hag will retire at United? Says Tino. Oh my God. You know, some questions are just based on nonsense. I mean, how can I answer that question? I mean, Ten Hag's not that old. You're basically saying, is he going to stay at Man United for 20 years? Look, if Ten Hag stays at 20 years, something went right. So I hope he does retire at United, because if he's still at United in his early 70s, something went very, very right. Young and Peacock was our Keenan Scholes, says Jackie Boy. I told you the other week, didn't I? I actually was pissed one night, and I went on YouTube and I started watching clips and streams of that. It was just, I really enjoyed it. How is the game, Mark? Says Nilma. They've done well. Like, I mean, look, they're not creating chances. I think that's always the problem with the youth. They don't create many chances. But from a defensive point of view, and there's been some nice, tidy passing. I mean, here's Ahmad going forward again. I mean, I'd like to see a little bit more from Hannibal. You know, he's a player that, you know, he's had some decent loans. He's had a lot of... hype, I suppose. I was trying to think of a nicer word. But the concerning thing for Hannibal, and I don't think anybody's picked up on it, is you'd expect Hannibal to have started in the first half with the first team. I thought the midfield three would be Casemiro, Mount and Hannibal. And he's been demoted down to the youth team, and Collier's been promoted to the first team. So Hannibal at the moment is just, you know, he can't be pre-season Pirlo when he can't get into the first team, even on pre-season. So I don't know what happens with Hannibal. I don't know what the situation is with Hannibal, actually, with regards to his contract. I think he might be out of contract next summer. So something's got to happen with him. Oh, no. No, he's not. Apparently he got a contract extension in January. His contract... Yeah, next summer his contract runs out. Yeah, so we did the +1, didn't we? Yeah, so something's got to happen. I mean, look, what I would say is it's a bit like Lindelof, isn't it? And it's a bit like Wan-Bissaka. They've all got 1 year left on his contract. Do you think United are going to give Mabry a new contract? No. So something's got to happen. Don't forget Noah. He's only 17 years old. Mbamba, says Jackie. Is that the one who was sleeping with his mum? That was the joke on the stream. Talking about youth, do you remember Shola Shoretire? He's going to leave for free, says Saka. I do, yeah. Yeah, I do. Please do subscribe, by the way. I don't know whether we hit 897. I think we did. Bottom right-hand corner. I need to change that. We're getting closer to 1.9. I think we might hit 1.9 before Fulham. In fact, I'm pretty sure we'll hit it before the Community Shield, which would be nice to be on the road to 2 million next season. Get involved with the United Stand. We are live at 8 o'clock tonight as well. We'll have a normal 8 o'clock show tonight talking about all the latest transfer news, etc. But it's nice to have a watch along. Next one is a week today in the States. Let me just change that. What's the situation with this Rangers team anyway? Second half, is this because they don't look young, like, so Rangers fans or anyone knows anything about Scottish football? What's the story here? Are these like just loads of players that you can't get rid of, or are these your best players? Nearly scored there. Bloody hell, God knows what Anana was doing there. Just jumping in the air like he just don't care. But nothing comes of it. Rico, welcome to the Members Club. I don't know whether this is true, but RB1987 says this is still Rangers' full-strength squad, has been all match. They're going to play 75 minutes, says David. Why do they need 300k per week play cuts, says Keel. I mean, the fact that this is Rangers' first-team squad is a little bit... Well, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. It's pre-season, but it just shows you how well organised some of the United players have been. Alba says they're shit. Enough said. I think the Scottish League starts a week early as well, doesn't it? I'm sure. So, fitness-wise, they actually should be a little bit ahead of us. Let's have a look what they've got. They Rangers pre-season, they played Ajax last week and they lost 2-1. Ajax had Jordan Henderson playing. A lot of the players that played that last week played as well. So, yeah, they played Ajax last week. They've got Birmingham on Wednesday, Union Berlin next Saturday, and then the Scottish... See, God, it starts 10 days. Rangers actually start on the 30th of November. No, what am I talking about? What am I reading here? You're a bloody twat. What am I looking at? They start on the 3rd of August against Hearts. So 2 weeks today, they start. And we don't start for another 4 weeks. So you can see why they're playing their team for the longer. I mean, it's not. I mean, I don't know the standard of Scottish football, but it's not looking good, bruv, is it? What positions do United still have to fill, says Craven. I'm not going to read your second name because I'm not thick. We still need to sort the midfield out, the full-backs out, another centre-back. I'd like to bring a winger in, but to be fair, we have got a lot of wingers. It's just the profile of those wingers. Hi, Mark. Watching from Australia. I always watch every live. I've got an eye injury and you are keeping me entertained, says Caleb. Well, rest up, mate, and hopefully you'll be feeling better soon. Thank you very much for tuning in, and good day in Australia. Must be quite late in Australia. What time is it in Australia? Would it be like early hours? And I mean, I'll tell you what I wanted to have a quick look at is the nice ball into Hugel. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Joe Hugel. 2-0 to Manchester United. And I tell you what, that is an absolute cracker. What a hit. What a hit by Hugel. He's got to be happy with that. Yeah, he has. He's got to be very, very happy with that. Watch this back if you can. Slide rule pass. Let's have a look. Yeah, lovely pass. And I tell you what, it's Butland in goal. Not a bad goalkeeper, Butland. Look at this for a hit. Oh, he took that really well. Really well. I don't think he's even in the box when he hits it. Let's have a look. There's the pass. Yeah, right on the edge of the box when he hits that. Yeah, Oyedele with the pass. Just slipped him in. You don't save those, says Stephen. 2-0 to Man United. Well, I'll tell you what. I think Ten Hag will be very happy with this. Rangers won't be happy with this, will they? Losing to the youth in the second half. Very good. I mean, I was going to have a look there at the stats in the second half, because we know we were 71% possession in the first half. And it's dropped a little bit, but they've still kept hold of the ball really well. Pass completion rate, 89%. Been tidy on the ball. Hugel's been around for years. I like Joe Hugel. I mean, he's definitely got Peter Crouch vibes in relation to his height. But again, he's only going to be 21 in October. I mean, Hugel's been around for a very long time. It was him and Charlie McNeil. And I think a lot of people, myself included, thought that Hugel would be, that Charlie McNeil would be the player. We brought him in from Man City, didn't we? And he was scoring a lot of goals in the youth, and it just didn't work out for him. But hold on, Rangers are in. Anana, get back on your goal. He's overhit that, that's all right. There we go. Are you still taking Lenny Yoro for 60 million if you know for sure he's to Real Madrid in a few years? People on Twitter saying United are a Real Madrid waiting room, says Dennis. I'm not really bothered. I mean, Garnacho's probably going to Real Madrid in a few years' time. Should we put him in the reserves as well? I mean, at the end of the day, what will be will be. It's the challenge of Man United to compete with Real Madrid, isn't it? We've got a long way to go. I'm not going to sit back and say, let's not buy a good player because he might go to Real Madrid in 3 or 4 years. Should Fish go to the first team, says Andre? I mean, as I say, it's pre-season. It's very difficult to predict. But here's Mabry. Loses it again. He's really struggling, isn't he? Mabry again, unfortunately. Caleb says, I hope my eye will recover. I got shot by a nail gun, which isn't good. Ooh. Yeah, rest up, mate. World Padlock, thank you for your super chat. How did Yoro look in the first half, says Eduardo? He looked good. I mean, it's nice to see somebody in a Man United shirt and not be reliant on clips from the Lille season last year. Good turn of pace, good passing, good physicality. Yeah, and looked very confident. Obviously, there was a couple of times he got turned, but, you know, nobody's perfect. And for a first 45 minutes, it was a great start. I think he can only go from strength to strength. Thomas says, I think Anana is going to cost us points again this season. It was a lovely pass by Oyedele in the midfield. He's been playing as a... holding midfielder, really. Just having a look how old he is. 19, be 20 in November. There's a few players that are like 19, 20 that really it's a big year for them. Collier's in the same age bracket as well. Hugel, Oyedele. Hi Mark, first super chat, says Jason. What realistic next steps do you think Ineos will be looking at to take us to the next level outside the transfer market, says Jason? Consistency of performance and result, mate. I think United have been so inconsistent. I mean, winning cups has been great, but the consistency has been problematic. I think that mentality will be something they'll be looking to see change over the next season as well. Do you think Rabiot has high wage demands, says Abhinav? Well, we don't know yet. Apparently he was offered 200k a week by Juventus and said no. Rangers just about to make a load of changes here. Why don't Real Madrid ever get Man City players, says 5 Cantonars? I don't know. Right, loads of changes for Rangers here, but still got 15 minutes left. Be a good result. I mean, look, it doesn't really matter, but it'd be nice to get a win here for United. We've had a few Rangers fans sort of getting involved, and they've said, we're worried. We're worried about this season. It's going to be a tough season. Well, I don't know about that. But the Scottish League can be predictable. If you think the Premier League's predictable, check out the Scottish League. They've made a lot of changes here, Rangers. Man of the match, difficult to... Well, you basically got a game of two halves, haven't you? You've got two teams for Manchester United. But we had a good chat at half-time about the first half team. So, second half, I mean, look, you've got to give a shout-out to Joe Hugel. The finish was fantastic, and it's not like he's been living off many chances. So, yeah, I think he's done well. With that goal. I think Fish has done well as well. I do think that Fletcher and Oyedele have done reasonably well as well. Mabry's been a bit disappointing. We haven't really got the wingers, Ennis and Mata, in the game at all. Amas has done okay. Bennett at centre-back as well. Yeah, I mean, look, again, I think a little bit like the first half, there's not been that many bad performances. Jeremy Motivation has gifted 1 membership. Cheers, youth team standing their ground, says Andreas. Alpha Kenny Kid, thank you very much. Big Sup says, class assist by Oyedele. Caleb, welcome to the Members Club, you're a legend. Shitting in the summer, just feel like cardio, says Marv. Don't know what that means, but there we go. Time for a bit of a stretch. We have got an 8 o'clock show tonight. I will do a quick match reaction as well, but obviously the proper match reactions will kick in after the Community Shield when we have like interactive player ratings and stuff like that. There's no point doing it for pre-season. I've got to eat my lasagna. Hearts to split Rangers and Celtic this season, says Baggy. You sound like someone who knows about Scottish football. I'll take your word for it. I think Fish has done really well second half. Either or, Will Fish or Carlos Puyol, says Oddmar. Well, we're obviously thinking the same thing because I think he's had a really good half. Really do. They'll be queuing up. There'll be people queuing up. I mean, you say loan him out. We might end up selling him. Apparently Mark got baited. You can't get baited if you don't know what it is. And if it's some sort of TikTok language like Spanish or English, I don't know what it is. So you can't get baited if you don't know what it is. And I've got no idea what it is. So if it made some of you laugh, well done, you hipsters. But I've got no idea what I've been baited on. And if you have to explain it, it's not funny. So, yeah. I'd say Fish has been the standout player for me this second half. Maybe very disappointing, says Enigma. Yeah. Oh, apparently I said 3 words together. I'm not going to say again. I don't know what it is. I'd have to Google it to see what it is. Oh my God. So basically I said 3 words that phonetically mean something else. I mean, that ain't funny. That really isn't funny. Like, so code for 3 different words is another 3 words. Mate, that ain't funny. You know, if you get someone to say, I swallow, you know what, cum, then I get it. But you can't say I got baited because of some code name of alpha, you know, phonetically you've just said something else. I haven't said anything else because I don't know what that means. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Get back on TikTok. It's jokes for the under 5s, that is. But talking about the youth, United have done well in this second half. And the fact that Rangers haven't even been able to score, would be nice to retain this clean sheet. Abanaf says, I love the United stand, Mark. Refreshingly honest. Thoughts on footballers, controversial songs, action, especially after international tournaments. Songs, says Abhinav. Oh, you're talking about... Oh, yeah, you're talking about Enzo Fernandez. Mate, thankfully, it's got nothing to do with Manchester United, and sometimes, you know, it's nice not to get involved. Obviously, you know, that's a Chelsea issue, and I suspect that's going to be a very interesting dressing room when certain players get back together. But, you know, thankfully, like I say, it's not Man United involved again. If you had to bring a left back in, Murray or Ahmad, says Taylor. I mean, that's a difficult one. That is a really difficult one. I think Murray looked very steady in the first half, and Amas is just full of potential. So, yeah. Give us an Agadoo, says Louis. I'm not in the mood for Agadoo, mate. It's pre-season. You can't do Agadoo in pre-season. Either or, I've done that one. I'd go Amas, says Paul Gorey. Psycho's drunk watching this. I think we've got a wide range of people in the chat today, which is absolutely fine. Would you consider buying Andreas Pereira back, says Shob. Absolutely not. Apparently, though, there was talk of him going to Chelsea, and if he goes to Chelsea, Man United have got a 20% sell-on clause that would probably bring us in 5 million. So, never thought that. I mean, he did all right he's done all right at Fulham, hasn't he? But I think that's his level. I don't think he's a Chelsea player. Then again, Chelsea are mid-table sometimes. Yeah, Keo, I'm not reading that out. Just to let you know, I've done it. I'm not reading it out on purpose. Gary Neville, I don't know who that is, so I'm not reading that out either. And Mark, would you rather win the Europa League but finish 5th? Or no. Tay, I'm not getting involved in this conversation. I'm not doing either ors about hypothetical blood pressure. Basically what he's saying is, would you rather finish 5th in the league and miss out on the Champions League and gamble on winning the Europa League, or would you rather just get 4th in the league and not win the Europa League? Honestly, I'd probably rather take 4th, because we did that with Mourinho, and it's a right stress knowing that you've got to win the Europa League to get in the Champions League. Oh, no. I thought United were in there. Well, look, this has been a really good workout for United. I think in the first half, there's some positives to take out of it. And in the second half, again, I think there's some positives to take out of it. Do I think there's anybody in the second half that's going to really be banging on the door for the first team? If I'm honest, no. But there might be some performances to build on into future pre-season games for people like Fish, etc. Also, I think some of these players, as I've said in previous years, you'll have a lot of scouts watching this from League One, League Two, Championship, who will certainly be getting on the phone to United. Michael says, MUTV commentary is so nice. Actually pro United, mate. Oh, God. What? Yeah, but that's the other way, isn't it? Like, they will never say anything negative. So, you know, it's nice when it's nice, but it's nice when it's crap as well. That's the problem with club commentary, is that they never say anything negative. So if they're playing well, it's great. I agree. But if there's anything negative, they won't have said it in the first half, Casemiro looks past it and we should get rid of him, will they? Do you rate Kieran Tierney from Arsenal, says Cameron? Well, I wouldn't buy him for Man United, no, because he's massively injury problematic. But I think he's a decent left back. Do you think, Robert says, do you think any of the promoted teams survive this year? I think Ipswich and Leicester. I think all three go down, Robert, because history from last season shows us that. Lovely play by Ahmad, but he overruns it again. He does that a lot. The first phase is good, and then he loses the ball. There's definitely a player there. I think I'd love to see Ipswich stay up. Honestly, I'd loan Malacia down to the Championship or lower for a season and bring Amas and Murray in to help Shaw. No, Dorian. No, I couldn't say we should do that based on a game and a half of pre-season. What do you think about Robinson from Fulham, says Dizzery. Good left back. I'd bring him in. I do like him. Whether he could make the step up or not, I don't know, but I do like him. One player United should look at is Dewey from Rennes. Very direct and give Rashford good competition. Jeremy, apparently he's off to... Is it Bayern? Guitar Boy says, given how bad VAR... Hold on. Crossed by Rangers. Good save by Anana. Good save. Given how bad VAR and refereeing was last season, do you see any marked improvements this season? Premier League looked a second-rate league because of it. Well, offsides will be quicker and better because we're going to have the technology from the Euros and the World Cup. That was a good save by Anana. So that will be better. But we saw Taylor and we saw Oliver in the Euros, and they were both still shit, weren't they? So the standard of refereeing, I don't know whether that's going to improve. Carol says, I think Oyedele looks brilliant. Should become a part of the first team. It's pre-season, right? I live in a real world. Some people just get overhyped. It's nice to see these players, and I hope that they can step up, and Ten Hag will decide whether they can. But, you know, some people are saying Will Fish should be part of our centre-back roster because he's played well against Rosenborg and Rangers. It ain't Fulham, and it ain't Crystal Palace, and it ain't Leicester. Like, I think it's nice to see some of these players, and hopefully it is the start of their journey. But the reality is, it probably won't be, if we're being completely honest. I mean, it's a shame that we haven't really got... I mean, Hugo scored his goal, but again, Ennis and Mata, we've just not got them in the game at all down the flanks, have we? Fletcher's been a bit quiet. Oyedele's definitely been the standout player in the midfield. As I say, Fish has done well at the back. There's been glimpses from Amas. Lovely goal by Hugo. They've been my standout players. I mean, John Hannibal. Hannibal's the most disappointing player because we were in this position. Wasn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong. No, maybe I'm wrong. I seem to think Hannibal's had a good pre-season already, but it wasn't last year. What was the one? It was Ten Hag's first one. Was it in Asia 2 years ago? Chong. And who were there was 3 that played well on the Asia tour. Chong. Was it Ahmad? Iqbal. Iqbal played well, didn't he? That was it. Fish has more wins for a Premier League club than Poyal. Uncomfortable conversation, says Bronzy. A lot of smoke around Mount exit, says Harvey. What are you talking about? Does Ahmad start this season, Mark, says Curtis? I hope so. Robbie Savage's son played well, didn't he? Yeah, you're right. It was Iqbal, Chong and Savage, yeah. So, yeah, it happens every year. That's what I'm saying. You know, hopefully it can be the start of something, but, yeah, we've had Iqbals, we've had Pereiras, Robbie Savage's kid played well, Charlie, that's it. But we've won the game, 2-0. Manchester United have won here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Absolute legends. I'm going to do a quick match reaction and whack that out. And then I'm back live with you at 8 o'clock as well. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. I'm going to go and record a match reaction now. And then we're back live at 8 o'clock. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Don't forget to tune in at 8 o'clock for all the latest transfer news. I'll speak to you all in a bit. Legends.